Raider Nation, what's the deal, man? Once again, it's your guy PanamaFargo, back to y'all live with another episode of the Raider Rundown. Make sure y'all keep tapping on that like and subscribe button, man, and at the same time keep sharing out that content. We're close to that 500 subscriber goal, which means I can reveal my first sponsor and my first giveaway of the channel, man. So keep tapping on the buttons, man. It's much appreciated. But without further ado, that Raider content, topic of conversation, Byron Young, and what the Raiders brass think about him, man, and how that pick came to fruition, man. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, from the article that I have read, it is from a trusted beat reporter of the Raiders, Hondo Carpenter. If you guys know him, he's very close to the team, very close insider of the team. And I like the way he gets down, man. I like the way he presents the news, and I like the way he presents, you know, the Raiders front office and how they really approaching things as a whole, right? So getting into this, he got real in depth on the Raiders draft picks from round 2 and beyond. So he ended up getting to the Byron Young. Now, when you really get into this article, right, it really starts to reflect how Dave Ziegler was really behind the Byron Young pick the whole time, right? From things like this here. You know, extensive scouting and extensive, you know, background check on the man. And, you know, Ziegler was all over that. You know, he has his team of scouts that help him in his department. But at the end of the day, man, if he really likes a prospect as a GM, bro, he's going to be all over that shit. And for this pick right here, it seemed like he was all over it. Okay, now, if we're talking about background checks, now it seems what the Raiders love and why they passed on another prospect people are mad about, Jalen Carter. They love that, you know, character factor. The character factor is huge for this regime, right? Now, if you read from this part here, Young has high character. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you have Nick Saban, those Alabama coaches really, you know, really pushing for you and vying for you, and they're saying that this guy is somebody that we can, you know, stand behind, and he's gonna do the work. He's gonna come in, be somebody, you know, that's a real help in the community as well. At the end of the day, man, you know, that's something you can trust. That's something you can take to your bank from the Alabama coaching staff and Nick Saban, right? So, like it says in the article, bro, Nick Saban ain't gonna do that for everybody, because at the end of the day, he's not gonna lie for nobody, you know, and jeopardize other prospects' future. That's not how they get down in Alabama. So they're really, they were really standing behind Young. That's something I like, and that's something that the Raiders coaching staff, you know, fucks with too. So at the end of the day, you know, they're looking for that one characteristic. Now, getting into the football side, right? When you get into the football side, yes, at Alabama, I believe I talked about it before, you know, sometimes dudes don't get on the field because that D-line is too fucking active, and it's too, you know, it's too deep. It's too talented, bro. Sometimes dudes don't play because they're just sitting behind 2 other guys that are NFL ready, bro. Like, that's just how Alabama gets down. Everybody knows that. And then in that, especially in that SEC conference, bro, that's really just how it goes. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have teams like that who, you know, have just a plethora of defenders, you know what I mean, that they can just stockpile, and then they can save some for later years, bro. And Byron Young is a product of that. Now, at the end of the day, when he does get in there, he was asked to do specific shit, right? He was asked to he wasn't really asked to rush the passer, but, you know, a good point made. Byron Young only had 4 sacks his whole career until this past year he played, and he had 3.5 in 1 year alone. Almost, you know, almost eclipsing his sack total for his career, right, in 1 year. And that's the year they said that the Alabama coaching staff said he earned the right to rush the passer. You feel what I'm saying? And that was his senior year. Now, at the end of the day, is that something we can take to our bank? Like I said in a previous video, I've said in previous videos, bro, like, you always love to see, if you're taking a college kid, production over the years increase. You know what I mean? If his productions over the year increase and you see steadily growth, bro, that's something I could get behind. You know what I mean? And it seems like that's something that the Raiders coaching staff can definitely get behind. You know what I mean? So for this Byron Young pick, at first I wasn't too excited, and I'll be the first to say it. And I know a lot of people would probably, you know, might feel the same way, but I wasn't too excited about the pick because I felt like this is somebody we could have got later rounds, whatever, right? But now, as I read this article, and I encourage you guys to go do so as well, you know what I mean? Like, now you look, Dave Ziegler, from, it seems like the beginning of the scouting process, was on this guy heavy. Now, if the GM is on this guy heavy and they're really, really pushing for this guy, they must see something, right? Now, as far as my eyes, I do see potential in Byron Young, and hearing all the extracurricular, how he is a leader, how he is this and that, it makes me like him even more. You know what I mean? And it makes me feel like this is not only going to be a solid all on the field thing, but a solid off the field thing too, as well. It's going to bring locker room, more character, locker room, and or locker.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Whatever the fuck I'm trying to say. More leadership in this locker room, right? And that's exactly what this team is looking for, and that's what they need from this draft class here. So, you know, let's hope that, you know, the Byron Young pick ends up coming into its own and ends up being something that's really, really good for the Raiders, man, because Lord knows we need that interior pressure, man. And if he can come in and just give us something, give us some type of juice, bro, we're going to be able to eat, especially when you got Tyree Wilson, Chandler Jones, and Max Crosby. Now, am I expecting a, you know, fucking 7-sack season from the man in his first season? No, I'm not, you know, but if he can come in and he can just give us some juice, man, you know, just give us some pressure. I'm not saying he's got to get home every time, but we just been missing that interior push. So if he can come in and give us that, you know, our edges are good. So we'll be straight, you know. But that is another episode brought to y'all live, man. You know, don't mind the scenery, bro. Your boy is in the midst of moving and shit, so we're going to have some shit like that in a minute. But, you know, make sure you keep hitting that like and subscribe button, man. Comment down below what y'all have thought about Byron Young since the pick, man. Have y'all went and did y'all research? If not, I encourage you to go do so, and I encourage you to read the article. I encourage you to go watch some film, go watch some tape, man. See if you see the potential, okay? Now, don't watch his film saying like, oh, I need to see this right away. Look for potential, bro. Look to see where he can grow and what areas he might be growing into. You feel what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, I appreciate y'all for being with me. And remember, I always keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown.
Yeah. Love. I was sick of the game, sick of the way you lied on my face, thinking that there was just no other way, no other day that you could ever explain. Now you got me looking burying pain. Wish I could bury the fame, I done married the game, and I found out that she cheat every day. So what's the purpose if you know what I'm saying? So what's the purpose if you know what I'm saying?